నేను సుధాకర్ మాట్లాడుతున్నాను. అదే దీంతో బెటర్ యూట్యూబ్లో జాయిన్ అవుతాను.
పార్టీ మేడం
ఓకే.
sir. Jishnu sir, please turn on your video sir once.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sir, Vice Chancellor sir will be joined shortly sir. Please.
Okay sir.
Shall I start sir? Jishnu sir.
Yes sir. Yes sir. You can start.
Mr. Jishnu, our Vice Chancellor will be joining within a minute. Okay, please wait. I just made a call.
Okay ma'am. No issues ma'am.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Welcome.
Participants.
Not my phone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Andy.
Welcome.
Let us start.
Good afternoon to one and all. I am A. Vijay Durga, course coordinator, ECE department. On behalf of Department of ECE, University College of Engineering, Adikavi Nannaya University, I extend my heartily welcome to this webinar, Networking Enhancement in Communication, jointly organized by Adikavi Nannaya University, Rajahmundry and Pantech Solutions, Chennai. My profound thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Mokka Jagannath Rao Garu, who has been agreed a source of inspiration to all of us. Thank you very much, sir. I also extend my welcome to our respected Principal Madam, Dr. V. Persis Garu, for continuous supporting to us. And also welcome to our Jishnu Garu, Senior Project Engineer, Pantech Solutions. Thank you, Ananda. Now I welcome Principal of University College of Engineering, Dr. V. Persis Madam, to greet the gathering.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Jagannath Rao Garu, Principals, Deans, Executive Council members, Convener of this program, Mr. Vijay Durga, Coordinator, Mr. Krishna, Hosting Institute, Pantech Solutions, and Resource Person, Mr. Jishnu, students who are watching live over YouTube, and participants who are connected from different places, faculty colleagues of Adikavi Nannaya University and from other colleges. Good afternoon to all, and on behalf of the University College of Engineering, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, I extend my hearty welcome to all. I would like to thank our Vice Chancellor, Professor Mokka Jagannath Rao Garu, for his time, for his consent to be with us this afternoon in spite of his many other engagements. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to acknowledge the treasured initiatives of our Vice Chancellor, under whose committed leadership and guidance we are all together moving forward. Thank you, sir, for your presence this afternoon. Coming to Pantech Solutions, I am also associated with Pantech. Last year during lockdown, I enrolled for one course in machine learning with Python. And initially they didn't insist for money. If we are satisfied, we can pay the money and access the full content. So the course is so good that I paid the amount. I thought it is wrong on my part to access the content without paying. So I paid the amount and I got the full access to the content. This is how they are delivering the lectures, technical sessions. Very nice institute, I can say. Thank you, Pantech Solutions, for coming forward in organizing this event along with Adikavi Nannaya University. Hope all the participants are benefited through their participation in this program. Thank you. I thank the convener for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, madam. Now I invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Vijay Durga,
Thank you,
for conducting this excellent webinar. And I'm very happy to see our dynamic principal, Dr. Persis. And I'm very happy to see the expert from Pantech Solutions, Pantech e-learning. His name is Vishnu.
Yes, sir. Jishnu, sir.
Jishnu. Hi, Jishnu. How are you?
Hi, sir. How are you?
Very fine. Thanks for coming, and thanks for giving an opportunity for our students to hear your expertise, knowledge.
Thank you so much for approaching us, sir.
Thank you. So I'm extremely happy today. This is a very important topic, network enhancements in communication. When I see what is the meaning of network enhancement, it means it is given as an additional design requirement of already existing network based on the customer or usage or applicability or whatever it may be. So this is a very, very important when we are all living in an era of networking. We are all part of networking. We are all using networking devices for various applications. A very simple smartphone in our hand is a part of a big network. And so in this way, need not be the electronic engineers or computer engineers or experts should know about networking. Even a scientist like me is very much interested to be part of this technology because we are all users of these networking enhancement and applications and every day by day. So we are becoming a global village by this kind of networking, by this kind of development in networking and internet, which is a network of networks. So when we talk about these things, I always go back to my research days where we have also used these technologies. Though I'm not a scientist, I have used these technologies some extent uh, in a thesis where we have done a PhD on the global emission monitoring. So we wanted to develop a model to see there should be a network which is based on the wireless protocol, so that all the sensors will be continuously reading the toxic gases from the atmosphere, like CO2, CO, nitrogen, etc., from different cities of the globe, and continuously updating to the server by the wireless protocol. So in this way, I have also used these networking technology in my research as well. But I always wonder, there are plenty of applications of these kind of wireless systems, wireless protocols, whether it is in defense or whether it is in science and technology, whether it is monitoring the pollution, or whether it is even counting the animals in a forest, or even tracking the terrorists in the Kashmir area. So you have all these things which are remotely controlled through remotely wireless-based networks. A lot of applications are there. So being a technologist and being an expert, you know what is this technology is all about. But being the users, we want to tell you, okay, why can't you? This is my requirement. You do this. I always wonder because there are terrorists walking, Naxalites are walking in a forest. I always wonder why can't you have a drone technology so that it will be continuously tracking? They're doing it now. Similarly, there should be fixed cameras which will be wirelessly connected, and so that it can count all the animals, endangered species, etc. Similarly, the terrorists are entering into the very remote areas through the Himalayas and the mountain, these things, so that you can use the remote sensing images and using these networks continuously. You can track how these terrorists are entering, where it is entering, use these networks and target the areas and bombard them with these ammunition. So this is the applications. I'm very surprised to see this. Recently, we are in the pandemic. The World Health Organization has used these network technology in this COVID pandemic and containing the COVID. I have seen this in the internet. I thought it is very appropriate to present it to these youngsters. So they have used artificial intelligence and machine learning driven communication networks for outbreak prediction, sensing and emergency evacuation, and quarantine instructions. Artificial intelligence and machine learning inspired without human in the loop communications and sensing architectures for autonomous decisions like early disease diagnosis and management, molecular communications, and bio-inspired sensors for e-health related pandemic applications and other related applications. 5G and beyond technologies for contact tracing, tracking, and monitoring, example, proximity and localization of the patients. Privacy preservation techniques for location-based services, contact tracing, tracking, and monitoring. Distributed ledger technologies like blockchain for end-to-end scalable traceability solutions. So when I see this, there is no field where there is no application of these networking enhancement or communications. Definitely it will be developing in manifold, in geometric proportions in future. The computer experts, the hardware or networking experts work hand in hand to serve the mankind. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Viewers, now I invite the Mr. R. Jishnu sir, Senior Project Engineer, Pantech Solutions, Chennai, to start the lecture.
Thank you. And very wonderful speech provided by Vice Chancellor sir. And definitely, I'm very impressed with this kind of definite speech. And these are the solutions which we have to bring for our future updations, especially by using this technology. So I hope soon it happens. And at present, whatever is going on, only with that 5G. But unexpectedly, before that 5G itself, optical fiber network has been enhanced now. So that is only providing a most range of people are nowadays attending the works and at the same time online classes, or those who are going on with the YouTube streaming. So everything comes under the networks only. So like this kind of solutions also will be found out soon. I hope so. And with all your permission, I'm going to start this particular session. Like today we will be seeing what is a communication and what are the different types of communication available. And from that, what are the network challenges we are facing and how we will be able to simulate a communication using MATLAB too. So this will be today's agenda. And with all your coordination, I'm going to start. Thank you all. Once again, I welcome all the participants as well as the faculties for this reputed topic named as Networking Enhancement in Communication. I sincerely thank Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor Mokka Jagannatha Rao. I also thank Patron T. Ashok, Registrar Sir. I also thank co-patron Dr. V. Persis Ma'am. Also thank convener Akilani Vijay Durga Sir. Also coordinator Mr. Krishna Banavantu Sir. Thank you so much for approaching us as well as accepting our request. Networking enhancement in communication. So networking is a wide range of sections where and all we will be working in the sense we will be completely going on for in the mobiles, laptops, and nowadays beyond these two devices, we can also use it in cameras or any of the power electronic items, power based devices. So the devices I can say like IoT based fan and IoT based light, IoT based AC. So these and all are different kinds of implementations. Okay, so for each and every implementations, here we will be using our own requirements. So we cannot say nothing is independent between the communication or the networking. So from that particular networking only, here we are able to elaborate all kinds of features, features like IoT access or wireless communication. So IoT is a mode of communication which we will be implementing with the help of embedded system. So we will be having some sort of Wi-Fi receiver and transmitter towards an embedded device, and a common Wi-Fi modem will be kept. Anyway, everyone will be having that particular router, and through that we will be integrating all the sections. So in this basis, whenever we start towards the device, so the communication, the network, what are the drawbacks on that, and how in the future we will be able to enhance. So previously, whatever we will be able to do means at the maximum, we will be having some sort of remote controls through within a required range, which is currently used for the vehicles also known as RF. The same thing nowadays, we will be able to unlock our vehicle through mobile phone. So that is the advanced and enhanced method of unlocking the safety features. Okay, so here what we can say means the networking they have implemented in the form of IoT. For a separate cloud, once whenever we integrate means we will be able to track that particular vehicle also. So once whenever we are going on that kind of technologies means here we have to integrate as well as we have to make that network for the broadcast purpose as easy as possible. Now if I take for an example of any of the AA system, all the AA system, it works only with the help of cloud. The reason is enhancement. It cannot be said only the space of cloud. The communication between the cloud and the device, it is happened to a single form of network. So from this particular communication devices, we have to know which and all comes under the wired and which and all comes under the wireless. So inside the wired one or the guided one, we can say twisted pair, coaxial cable, optical fiber, and unguided section, terrestrial microwave, satellite microwave, and broadcast radio. What are the different evolutions of wireless? It can be said as 1G, 2G, 3G, and 4G. Now, many of them will be having a question why I did not add the Wi-Fi modem or Wi-Fi section inside this wireless evolution. Even though it is a type of evolution, the only change whatever we have done inside that Wi-Fi is the wired modem. Okay, the wired LAN connection has been made into wireless. Only that changes there. Rest, the 50 MB per second or 1 GB per second, the speed and all, it is from the olden days. Even 5 to 10 years back also, we were having the capability of 1 GB per second. But the thing is, many of them are not ready to approach, and whatever the systems we were using, it doesn't have that much capability. For example, if some of the Wi-Fi modems, latest Wi-Fi modems, if you are trying to connect towards the old laptop means it is not possible. We are supposed to just change that particular converter or the connector towards the laptop. The same thing if you are providing that connection for a latest version of laptop, which is within than 5 to 6 years means it has a capability. So what was that particular enhancement has been done means that Wi-Fi module has been changed. Everyone knows each and every communication device or each and every electronic device has a standard value for IEEE. So from that particular standard value, just a moment. So for that particular standard value, they will be having a certain frequency of bandwidth, and at the same time, they will be also having the radiation effects. Many of them will be saying it should be enhanced. Why they are not enhancing? And what is the reason the tower frequency is kept reduced? The main reason for reducing the tower frequency is due to that particular tower radiation, many of the birds are being affected. So due to that particular problem only, many of the industries, they have started to reduce, and now they are increasing in a gradual way to reduce the radiation, and at the same time, everyone should be able to use in the form of harmless. So we cannot directly provide that particular communication or the network speed. Rather than providing that, we also required some communication hardware designs, like the radiation testing or that particular the range, and within that particular range also the radiation level should be changed, because many of them are using their mobiles near to their body. Always it is kept along towards the touch of the body. So regarding towards that upcoming only, here we have to apply the changes. So these are all the general talks whatever we were having. Now inside this communication itself, we can say that different types like FDMA, CDMA, TDMA, and orthogonal frequency. So this are all some sort of different communications where FDMA will be working based on the frequency slots with respect to the power. If the power is reduced, therefore you won't be able to get a good frequency. But this FDMA only, most of them are using for the purpose of radio. Whatever the radios they hear, it is with the help of FDMA only. Whenever your power is low, like if the battery is down, generally you have a portable FM, or you also have a FM inside the mobile. Both the sides, once whenever we check, if the power is completely low, the FM won't work at all. So the reason is it is the frequency is directly proportional to the power. And at the same time, if you want to just broadcast, there also the power backup is completely needed. Then come with TDMA combined with FDMA. So here we have time slots, frequency, and carriers, including with power. Carriers are nothing but the signals or the respective transmitting data. So once whenever you are integrating this both TDMA and FDMA means, so the advantages for a respective time slot, the respective frequency we will be able to send. It may be audio or it may be video. So like that, different kinds of implementation, and for both the power is applicable. Generally, the power won't be applicable for any of the time slots, and definitely the frequency it is depending only the sections of power. So based on that, the carriers also get damaged, and if the power is good, the frequency also will be good, and therefore there won't be any effects for this particular carriers. So that particular carriers nowadays we can see in the form of a video call or a voice call through WhatsApp. Even though it is through net connection, we are just accessing, many of them are accessing their net connection completely through the device of 4G or 4G LTE. So this is nothing but IEEE standard oriented SIM reading capability. Then comes with direct sequence, which is known as CDMA. So the current, not only the current, the previous versions, whatever they were applying, it is with CDMA only, like code division multiple access. Now many of them will be having a doubt, what is this code? Why we are saying that currently it is being used? Whatever the SIM, whatever the particular dialed number you are providing, that is known as the code. So through that particular code, we will be able to access multiple. Initially, the particular CDMA was initiated only for the purpose of conference call as well as enhanced voice talk. So from that, based on that code division, you will be able to contact at least 3 to 4 members in the form of conference section. So from that particular conference section, we will be able to talk at the same time. And if you want to remove any of the persons, that is also possible. And like in previous meetings and all, mostly will be held only with the help of con call only. So this each and every number have their own code, and 10-digit code. It is nothing but our mobile number. So that first set can be set as the particular state and the particular network. I'm saying including that +91. It takes for the country purpose. Then comes with that mobile broadcasting service. Airtel means Airtel, Jio means Jio, Vodafone means Vodafone. So like that, different companies. Then comes with that respective person's code. So final thing only the respective person's code, and that code only it is being changed for many of the persons. And by accessing that particular code only, here we will be able to get. Like initially, instead of 545, if you provide 546 means it will be going only for that particular person. And if a person is trying to call you and providing that same N number, therefore at that particular place also you will be receiving it. So this CDMA will be having the carriers in the form of code. So after the code is matched, therefore that particular carriers will be activated. That also depends upon the time and frequency. Why in the sense, like time calculation will be there, and now many of them are just using unlimited calls, so there is no time for that. And if you go for the frequency means, definitely we are facing at some places you won't be able to get the exact signal. So therefore the frequency of audio also will be changed. Even if you do any of the video call, that time also the change can be noticed as easy as possible. Like the image gets blurred, but the talking, the conversation gets delayed. So like that kind of each and every changes is provided. OFDM. So orthogonal frequency division multiple access. This is combined with TDMA as well as FDMA. The signals will be traveling in an orthogonal way, and this particular signal can also be set as 5G. So from this particular thing only, we will be able to read all the different datas from different kinds of section. And here also the power, frequency, time, everything is important. And one more thing, whatever we have added is tones. What are the application of these kind of different communications? Like smart homes, smart energy, healthcare, cars, education, virtual reality, etc. So for this kind of applications only, here we will be using it. Now IoT based healthcare, IoT based vehicle monitoring, smart homes, smart home assistant, everything is obtained only with the form of communication as well as that particular range of period whichever we work. What are the different electromagnetic spectrum that has been used in and around the particular world only for the purpose of communication, like static electric and magnetic fields, alternating electric and magnetic fields which has 50 hertz of frequency, TV, radio, mobile phones, and microwave and satellite. The range starts from 3 kilohertz to 300 gigahertz. Then if we go for visible sunlight, ultraviolet rays, X-rays, and the radioactive sources can be said as nuclear. So that particular range will be 3000 terahertz to 30 hertz. So extra terahertz. So that is the most advanced hertz of frequency for communication purpose. What are the drawbacks we are facing inside the communication? Like poor planning, effective communication seldom happens by chance. Whatever we are facing, it is only less time of second. For example, sometimes whenever we download anything in our mobile, it takes 100 MB per second. Sometimes it also goes based on 500 KB per second. So that should not be happened, and that was the particular thing by chance it happened. At some regions or some areas only you will be able to get that much kind of speed. Poorly worded messages, like once whenever we are interacting, therefore whatever that communication is being applied towards the device, so from that the automatic prediction or the autobots, all that particular messages whatever we say, the qualities are low. Semantic problems can be said in the form of hardware, like heating issues upon to the temperature, upon to the usage, or the device or the storage size, the localization area of the device, like that. Status difference between sender and receiver. Yeah, everything is not sended or received as immediate. Now itself, here I have both mobile as well as the laptop, which has been connected into the same Wi-Fi. So one part of chat is also moving on to my particular mobile. and I am streaming the entire sequence through my laptop. The problem, whatever it has been faced, is here we can say completely in the form of the lagging. Whatever I say after 2 to 3 minutes only, here I am getting reflected. Let it be the slide change or let it be the audio, anything. So in this particular way only, the differences, whatever we are facing, that should not be there. Instant message transfer and instant message receiver must be there. Then perceptual difference between send receivers. So like the time being and the sizes. So according to the size, the time is taken, and only limited sizes we will be able to share through the networks. So that is the main difference between sender as well as receiver. Environmental factors like there is no place to add the towers and all. Even though if there is no placement, they will be placing it above the particular houses, or they will be clearing the forest. So that is a bad environmental factor, clearing of forest. And my suggestion is whenever they are placing the particular towers, they are not allowed to place it in and around over there. So the next thing is like unqualified assumptions. So whatever that assumptions means whenever we work means, here we have to analyze it. For example, many of them will be saying this will be that particular speed, and they will be assuming it. Since we are working on the wireless, we are able to access only 20 to 30 percentage from the speed whatever they have said. For example, if our mobile or the sim 4G whatever we are having, it is 1 GB per second, but whatever we are getting or receiving, the download speed is maximum till 300 or 500. Rarely only we are reaching towards the 1 GB. So this unqualified assumptions should be avoided. Then the next drawback is a loss by transmission and poor retention. So we will be facing more of losses. Definitely the wireless, the major fault is the losses only. And even though how many losses are there, we have to manage that particular loss. For example, if a person requires to reach the speed of 1 GB means at least the transmission should be done for 5 GB per second. Then only they will be able to receive at least 1 GB per second, and according to that only many of their particular organizations will be applying the frequency. The poor retention in the sense the replacing or the quality of signal transmission or receiving, it may be the receiver side problem or the transmitter side problem. That is not easy to figure it out. So these are the most drawbacks which we have to enhance inside the networking for communication. So does anybody have doubt till here? Participants, if you have any doubts means you can just post it in chat. Definitely will help you in answering it. Okay, so I hope there is no doubts. will be the last call for providing regarding the doubt session. So those who have no doubts means no issues. Those who have liked the video, just on the like, and for our further updates, you can subscribe our channel. Okay, so Bora Sudha Kiran has a doubt like, what is the difference between the status differences and perceptual differences between sender and receiver? The status updation here we will be able to say only in the form of the sending and receiving time and the size. The perceptual differences in which way they are able to gain that particular functions. So this both differences only we have to compare it. Their way of usage and their way of achieving it. So that comes under the perceptual. The status is the current working of sender and receiver. Yeah, that's for that only I have just provided the example. Currently my status is nothing but it is showing this particular slide, and here whatever I am speaking, that should be directly sent within a span of time. But the same thing I have connected to the mobile, the networks, everything is same only. After sending here, then within 2 or 3 minutes only inside my mobile it is getting updated. Now itself we can see. So whatever I am now speaking, it is around for 320. But whatever the guys you guys are reaching or whatever that particular content you are receiving, it may be around of 323 or 324 like that. So that is known as the status difference. The status is it is not delivered properly. So all the participants for receiving any of the further updates regarding the upcoming webinars or upcoming technologies, or if you want to just know some small technologies, means all the updates we are providing in Instagram known as Pantech e-learning, everyone can join to that. And for interesting sessions, you can just approach us through pantechelearning.com. All the upcoming sessions are there. What are the network topology will give less semantic problems? Yeah, wired only will be providing the less semantic problems, but both wired and wireless have the same problem, like known as the thing is crosstalk. Crosstalk, even nowadays, it is being happened in wireless communication through mobile itself. So that is a common problem. If you take any other separate problem, means wireless having many losses, wired is having less losses, but it is not portable. So now let us see how to simulate a basic application like amplitude shift keying, frequency shift keying, and phase shift keying in a MATLAB. For this, a particular communication toolbox is required. And here I am taking the random integer as input. And from that particular random integer, the channels will be around 1,000. So F1 and F2, it is a serial like 1 and 2. So the time will be calculated 0:1 divided by 30:1 minus 1 divided by 30. So this will be common to all. Okay, so first we are going for ASK. The formula for ASK, it is sine of 2 pi frequency into time. Then it will be calculated in the form of E1 sum of SA1 power of 2. And finally, whatever we will be calculating the unit energy is SA1 by square root of E1. So this mathematical application only, it is being applied for ASK. This is for PSK, and this is for modulation of ASK, PSK, and FSK. So from that, we have to take the stair applications so that each and every branches or whatever the frequency for the each and every channels which has been updated, we will be able to clearly monitor, and this will be the ratio of value which we will be selecting for displaying that output. So here we can see how much message which has been sent with the grid section, and also the ASK modulation for that message, FSK modulation and PSK modulation. So everything will be labeled in the form of time and amplitude. And here for removing the noise, we are using AWGN. Also for each and every sound to noise ratio is also applied. And finally, therefore, the deduction A, F, and P, ASK, FSK, and PSK, it is initially provided as empty. So based on detecting the signals, each and every value gets changed, and finally bit error ratio will be calculated for each and every application. So this will be the basic solution. So this is a SNR value. This is noise removed signal value with AWGN. This will be the input. So any doubt on this means you can just post it. So this will be like a basic application. Any doubts? Okay. So like this itself, here we will be able to calculate for QPSK with section 4 QPSK, 16 QAM, 64 QAM as a comparison of each and every kinds of applications. So here all the particular FFT values and decibel values and HAR values has been collected in MAT file. So from that here we will be loading, and based on that the performance estimation for 4 QPSK can be monitored and simulated inside our MATLAB tool. So the performance for BER ratio of FFT, it is around of 0.6. For DWT, it is around less than 0.2. And for DWT HAR also it is less than 0.2. Now this is for OFDM with DWT using 4 QPSK. The same thing if you go for 16 QAM. So here we have to run each and every one by one. So this is DB2 SNR code. Yeah, so due to some streaming issues, here I'm not able to access the MATLAB with my browsing lab. So the performance plot analyzed for this. So this will be for 16 QAM. You can maximize that particular graph. So the bit error ratio for the same implementation in 16 QAM. This will be that particular approach. And similarly, if we go for 64 QAM, this will be the BER section. So if anybody having doubt regarding this means, you can just post it. So this is known as network or communication analysis. In this way only we will be able to analyze different applications. So anyway, there are many limitations whenever we are working under the simulation. So for high reputed simulations or high reputed testings and all can be done only under the government industries, government aided industries. So in this way only the research persons will be applying for different terminologies, especially with the help of some toolboxes. So like the networks can be enhanced with the help of a good efficient antenna design and as well as the bandwidth section for a respective antenna. And the basic steps can be taken like this kind of implementations, including cognitive radio networks also. Here we can apply it as a simulation part. So any doubts regarding this? And for all the participants, this particular webinar's attendance link has been shared into the description box. So this is the method of simulating for the purpose of cognitive radio networks. So this cognitive radio networks application is done by using OFDM section. So from that particular OFDM, the water filling substances for power as well as noise to carrier ratio NCR. So these two comparison only here we will be able to take. Whereas y-axis are full of subchannels. So for total 16 subchannels, this will be the power allocated and noise carrier ratio for a particular or the basic devices, whatever we are able to simulate. So how this particular workspace is being applied means, here we will be having the ratio of channels like 1:1:4, and the subcarriers will be of 4, whatever we are applying over here. And from that we will be creating a total value in the form of random relay process. So relay is the particular process which we have combined both the channels and subcarriers over here. From that relay, here we have to calculate the primary radio and secondary radio. Then we have to integrate that maximum power. So the maximum power here it is provided primary radio plus 1 to the exponential of 0. Now the position of the primary radio and secondary radio is allocated like 6 radian, and both of them is multiplied with the previous data into the 2 times. So from that, here we have to calculate the subcarriers. The subcarriers channel, whatever we are providing, it is 1 to the exponential of 10 minus 10, and therefore the B value here we will be calculating by comparing all the subcarriers and all the channels. Then all the particular cognitive radio networks, it is allocated in the form of radio rectangles. Initially, whenever you are executing the previous code, you might have seen some boxes within the circle. So that particular box is only known as the radio rectangles. In that motion only we will be able to apply the signal, and here to create that particular environment, therefore the maximum values of primary radio and secondary radio values will be taken. So therefore, whenever you are working over here, the plottings will be applied for primary radio and secondary radio. Then CRBS position of X, CRBS of Y, and by combining both X and Y values, all the data will be called in the form of matrix. And from that, we will be calling BS1, BS2, BS3, and BS4. So from that, the range will be completely varied. Now, finally, we are just applying in the form of protection area radius. Whatever the carriers are provided, for that we have to define a protection area. So the radius is 0.3, and the diameter of it is 1.5 into the radius. Therefore, the radio rectangles of BS, how it can be defined means, the width circles with CRBS position, including with edge color and line style. So based on this only, the rectangle length and width calculation is applied. So 3,3, and therefore the radio rectangle also created for cognitive radios. User within the femtocells, here we have to check in the form of the rectangle length, and from the obtained rectangle and length and the width, here we will be able to get that femtocells value. So after collecting that femtocells value, here we have to apply the phase color, curvature, and the position of the signal, whatever that has been obtained inside a single rectangle. So for each and every station section, the values will be changed, and from there again the radio rectangles will be applied with the femtocell section, and this process is continued for 3 times. So till here the same steps are being applied to multiply the carriers and the signals inside the communication section. Now for 4 times, here we will be allocating the distributed radio for primary, and for that we will be calling the CRBS log and the rectangular BS. So finally the random relay, by combining with all the channels and the carriers, here we will be able to apply it in the form of different segmentation parts. So each and every kinds of signals whatever we apply, Based on that only, the power allocation and the noise carrier ratio will be calculated. And for this particular section, the water filling OFDM will be the method to provide a test data. So, okay guys, I hope you all have enjoyed this particular session. So if you have any doubt, you can just post it. The quiz topics will be released as soon as possible. You can collect it either through the Instagram or through the YouTube. So if anybody have any doubt, means you can just post it in chat. Okay guys, then thank you all for your participation. So once again, I thank Adinaniya University for providing this wonderful opportunity, to provide a lecture regarding towards the networking enhancement on communication. So I hope everyone has enjoyed the session. And I sincerely thank AKNU ECE department as well as on behalf of Pantech e-learning for providing this wonderful opportunity.
Sir,
Hello, sir.
completed, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now I invite to B. Krishna, sir, Assistant Professor ECE, to formal vote of thanks.
Good evening to one and all, honorable dignitaries and all the participants on behalf of Department of ECE, University College of Engineering, Adikavi Nana University. I feel immense pleasure to take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks. I, Krishna Banavatu, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Adikavi Nana University. I would like to thank our keynote speaker, Mr. R. Vishnu sir, for wonderful and such a knowledgeable, informative session on networking elements in communication. So it is very useful to all the participants to improve their knowledge in various aspects towards networking enhancement in communication. We enjoy a lot your session, sir. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank today's chief guest of this webinar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Mukka Jagannath Rao Garu, for attending this webinar in his busy schedule. At each and every aspect, sir always motivates and guides us for organizing such a wonderful programs in our University College of Engineering, Adikavi Nanna University. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my gratitude to the respected Principal Madam, Dr. Persis Garu, also for being a constant motivator and encouraging us to achieve many endeavors. Thank you, Madam. I would like to thank our HOD sir, Mr. Alikani Vijayadurga Garu, for his support in organizing such programs in our department. And I would like to thank all the participants who are in live with us and attended this webinar with a great enthusiasm, made today's event a great success. Thank you all. Once again, I thank one and all wholeheartedly. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Can I leave, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.